Hello again and welcome to another Mordy and Glory Warhammer 40k video. In today's episode I will be taking you through step by step an army list that was chosen for me by the community to take to my next tournament. This has been called the Imperial Guard Autocannon Offensive Fighting Force, also known as the iJackoff. And so without further ado, let us delve into the insanity which is this community built list, and let's see if there is some method to this madness.
Tell me, do you know what makes a good soldier?
The ability to fire 3 rounds a minute in any weather, sir.
No, you fool! It's the ability to click on the affiliate link down in the description and buy yourself a copy of Sharp's Command.
I command here.
No, I command here.
No.
Sharp Command is the brand new novel in the best-selling historical series that has sold over 20 million copies worldwide.
God save Ireland!
Buying yourself a copy of Sharp's Command and supporting the channel at the same time? Now that's soldiering.
So let's begin with a brief bit of background on how and why I let my community build this list for me. So I had been planning on taking a different army to the next tournament. I was thinking of running my 120 Black Templar Darktide army to drown the enemy in waves upon waves of power armored Space Marines. But the night before I was to submit my list, I had a dream. Nay, I had a vision. Sly Marbo himself came to me whilst I slept, and he bent down and he picked me up in his large camouflage paint muscly arms. And he looked me right in the eyes and he whispered tenderly in my ears, "Oh!" Okay, so on a more serious note, I just thought it'd be funny. I thought it would be great to give chat the opportunity in one of my live streams to build me a list, and whatever they decide to come up with, that is what I would run. And essentially what we did is we ran a series of YouTube polls and votes and all that kind of stuff, and we worked our way down many different options. There was Pure Tank Company, there was Pure Infantry, there was taking non-Imperial Guard, there was taking Imperial Guard, there was taking 4 Super Heavies, all sorts of crazy ideas. Whatever chat suggested, we put it into a poll, and we went through about 4, 5, 6 YouTube polls before essentially we arrived at this final concept, which was, as chat called it, the Oops All Autocannons. And now Oops All Autocannon is something that my livestream community has actually been curious about, has been wanting me to take to tournaments for, well, probably about a year now. But due to various other tournament list ideas and other crazy things like it's Vanking time, the Oops All Autocannons never really got the chance to be taken to a tournament. That is, until now. We have finally reached a point where we have enough autocannons in my army where we can do a genuine full autocannon style list. Now, what I want to say is a big thank you to everyone who was in the live stream whilst we picked this list, because there was loads and loads of great ideas being thrown around, and also there was lots and lots of enthusiasm for building this list. And I think we actually ended up coming up with not only a interesting and uniquely themed army, building it around that concept of is the autocannon actually a take all comers? Can it literally take on everything it encounters because it's the only weapon we've got? And not only doing that, but also trying to build it in an effective way, because there was this big debate of, do we just take as many autocannons as possible, or do we try and take a large amount of autocannons and make them as effective as possible? And in the end, chat actually decided that we were going to take a lot of autocannons, but we were going to make it an effective autocannon list and not just a purely meme list, which I actually think makes this whole army overall more interesting, because it's not just a meme, it's actually a bit of a dream. So with all of that said, now let's dive into the list itself. This is why you're all here, right? Let's get into the list proper. And of course, we'll start off with the Infantry Corps. Every day in the Corps is like a day on the farm. Every meal, a banquet, every paycheck a fortune, every formation a parade. I love the Corps. Now, for my infantry in this list, we have got 3 chimeras with double heavy bolter, heavy stubber, hunter killer missile, with 3 infantry squads in the back of them. Each one of those infantry squads has got an autocannon and a grenade launcher. That's right, we are dialing it back to 5th edition with the classic AC-GL infantry squad combo. If you were on the Daka forums back in the day, that was the go-to recommended loadout for any Imperial Guard infantry platoon. Now, in this Chimera, in our 4th Chimera, we have got a platoon command squad, and that has got an officer with a plasma pistol, and we've also got an autocannon, and we've got a grenade launcher in there. This command Chimera is going to be supporting some of the Sentinels that are in the list later on. And then we have one more infantry squad, but this is a Catachan jungle fighter unit, and we've put that inside a Taurox. Now, I know the Catachans themselves don't have an autocannon, but the transport that they're riding in does, and so all of these mechanized assets do have access to autocannons. And what's kind of interesting here is, for a long time I have been theorizing, and other people on the internet have been theorizing, that taking Catachans and putting them in a Taurox could actually be quite spicy, because you've got the 12-inch move of the Taurox plus the 6-inch scout move of the Catachans, and then you can advance and still get out if you need to. Now, I will admit I am filming this list review before. I will admit that I am filming this list review after I've been to the tournament, so I'll try and not give away any spoilers. But let me just tell you, this combo, which I've been thinking about since 10th edition dropped, actually works. And I am looking at 3D printing and painting up multiple additional Tauroxes for my Imperial Guard army, for my Mordians, for my Steel Legion, because I think that there could actually be some play there to the humble Taurox. The last bit of infantry that we have is another platoon command squad. These aren't attached to anything, they are not riding in a Chimera or anything, they are just equipped with an autocannon, a grenade launcher and a Master Vox, and the idea is they're going to sit on the home objective with their Master Vox and put out some orders again to the Sentinels. So we've only got, for our sort of line infantry and stuff like that, we've only got 50 infantry, and the only other additional infantry we have in this army is another 5 Scions. So crazy it sounds, but this is probably the lowest amount of infantry that I've run in a list in a very, very, very long time, and that's definitely freed some points up for me to take other things in the army, but it's also a little bit of a limitation. I don't quite have that OC domination that I normally have in my army. So in total, we have got 40 infantry, 2 command squads, and a 5-man Scion squad. And that 5-man Scion squad just goes into deep strike every single game, and it's just there to deep strike down and do some objectives. But now let's get into the real power of the list. Let's get into the big punchy vehicles. Starting off, we have got 2 Leman Russ Exterminators. Each one of these tanks has got the Exterminator autocannon, and we've got plasma cannons on the side, and we've got a lascan and a stubber and a hunter killer missile. I love Exterminators. Not only do I think they're a very cool looking tank, but I also think they are a wildly effective one. Their own damage output has just got better and better over the edition with the introduction of the newborn soldiers. So they get 6s, are lethal hits, and then anything that isn't lethal hit, you then get twin linked on the autocannon. So it's always wounding all targets all the time, and I can just tell you now, this is not, I knew this going in with this list, but Exterminators just are a really, really good unit. And not only do they punch well themselves, but they also have the Withering Hail ability, which gives you an additional AP against an enemy unit that's been hit by the Exterminator autocannon. So what I tended to do with this army is actually shoot one of the Exterminators, and then I'd start laying on the other autocannons, because that allowed me to really boost up the AP between the Exterminators and the Fields of Fire, and also, of course, the Hellhounds. Speaking of which, we have a brace of Hellhounds in this army. I know that many of you will say, these haven't got autocannons. This was part of the strategy that chat came up with, to not just take lots of autocannons, but to make those autocannons as effective as possible. You see, one of the biggest problems with autocannons is that they only have AP -1. This means that enemy units that are in cover and have a good save are eminently difficult for autocannons to deal with. But this is where the Hellhounds come in, as they have their ability to remove cover from an enemy unit that has been hit by a Hellhound. Now, rules as written, what's kind of cool about this is it doesn't need to be the Inferno Cannon or the main gun that hits the enemy. You can actually stick like a heavy bolter on the front of your Hellhounds and use that as like a little bit of tracer fire to remove cover. In this situation, I've just gone for the classic Hellhound loadout of Inferno Cannon and also Heavy Flamer on the front, because I just like to burn, baby, burn. Next, we have a Hydra. Now, Hydras are a unit that have been kind of on the tip of many of my lists. I've wanted to include them for a long time, and even every so often I have dropped one into a list, but it's never really performed the way I've wanted to. But with them coming down to 85 points, it's now so damn cheap that if you want a bit of extra armor in your list, the Hydra is absolutely the go-to. It's got a really good range on its autocannons, and it's twin-linked, and it's got a hunter killer, and it's got a heavy bolter. The only issue I really have with the Hydra at this point is that I do feel like the Exterminator, I do feel like it should have rapid fire. I think the big issue is that it only fires 4 shots. If it fired rapid fire and got, even if it's like rapid fire 2, so it got 6 shots at half range, I think that would go a long way to making it feel like a better unit. But we've included it in this list because it's more cheap armor, and as chat pointed out to me in the live stream, you can't really take a list which is called the Imperial Guard Autocannon Offensive Fighting Force, or Oops All Autocannons, and not include a Hydra. That would definitely be grounds for ultra lambastation. So we've got the Hydra in here because it feels right, and we've got it in here because at the end of the day, it adds more firepower. Now, you may have noticed we've got another Liam Ross Exterminator back here, but he's in a different colour scheme. Now, this tan Exterminator represents the Tank Commander. So these 2 green ones are the basic Exterminators, and this is the Tank Commander. So he won't benefit from the Withering Hail ability, but he does have Grand Strategist, and he is there to hand out a couple of take aim orders onto my Exterminators to make them as effective as possible. I actually found with the Tank Commander, the Exterminator was a pretty good weapon on him. Yes, he didn't get the lethal hits, and yes, he didn't get Withering Hail, but Tank Commanders, they do lack a little bit of something with not having Born Soldiers anymore. And having the twin linked on the Exterminator autocannon, it felt like he was getting to pick up a lot of the slack for missing out on that Born Soldiers. But really, he's just there to add a bit more firepower and as a force multiplier for the rest of the army. Then we get to 2 units of Sentinels. The tan ones are Armored Sentinels, and the green ones are Scout Sentinels. All the Sentinels are, of course, equipped with autocannons and hunter killer missiles. Now, the Scout Sentinels are there because they're a little bit cheaper, and also they can give reroll 1s against an enemy unit with their daring recon. I've got no artillery in here, but still reroll 1s is nice. And the fact that they've got such a long scout move and a regular move, they can absolutely get onto those middle objectives and sometimes get you some of those trickier secondaries that a guard can struggle with in the first turn, like extend battle lines or engage on front or something like that. So these guys are just there to add a bit more firepower, a bit of a force multiplier, and to also be good for those secondaries. And then we have the Armored Sentinels. Oh, baby. Again, no spoilers here. No spoilers here, but I now love Armored Sentinels. Every single game that they were in, they had a good target for their full rerolls to wound against enemy vehicles and monsters, and every single game they absolutely slapped. Before running Armored Sentinels, because it's actually the first time that I'd run them in 10th edition, I'd been just going off like Theorycraft, and before running them at this tournament, I had just thought to myself, why wouldn't I just take a Lehman Russ? Now I know. Now we know. When the Sentinels fired, and they had the enemy had their cover removed, and they had some bonus AP from an Exterminator or Fields of Fire or both, they started shredding through everything. Really, really strong unit, and the ability to have lethal hits, reroll 1s, hitting on 3s, AP minus what was it, AP minus 3 autocannons with ignore cover, flat damage 3, full rerolls to wound. Oh baby, these guys punched well above their weight, and I am excited to try out spamming more of them in a potential future list. Woo! Bit of foreshadowing there for you guys. But memeing aside, these were a really, really good unit, and I really, really enjoyed using them, and I'm excited about getting more Sentinels and more Armor Sentinels specifically into my armies. Also, it wasn't just about the damage output, they were really, really tough. T8, 8 wounds, and a 2+ save, and there's 24 wounds there? Amazing. Yeah, no, Armor Sentinels, they're good at tanking damage, and they're good at doling out as well. But that just about covers it. In total, we have got 55 infantry models, 17 individual vehicles, and if we are in rapid fire range with the exterminators, 52 autocannon shots a turn. That is a lot of firepower. That's a hell of a lot of firepower, and that's just the autocannons, and all of those shots are 3 damage each. Oh my days. But let me know what you guys think about this army list down in the comment section below. Have a guess on how you thought I did at the tournament. Did I go 0-3? Did I go 1-2, 2-1, or did I go 3-0? If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to smash that like button, and if you want to make sure you never miss an episode, then subscribe as well. And if you do that, then you will become Commissar Cat Kylo approved. Would you like to know more? If so, then please consider becoming a channel member or patron. By supporting the channel, not only will you be doing your part, but you'll also be helping me create more content for your viewing pleasure and unlocking a whole host of perks. You get everything from a badge next to your name, custom emojis, but the big one is access to the Mordian Glory Discord server, an online community with almost 2,500 active members. It's always popping off in the MG Discord. We've got channels for army lists, hobbying, tactics, stories, and even a pretty spicy meme section as well. For all you greenhorns that wanted to see the Mordian glory hole, today is your lucky day. And joking aside, I do want to say a massive thank you to all of the current channel members and patrons. You guys are amazing, truly the lifeblood of the channel. I could not do Mordian Glory full-time without the incredible and generous support of my members, so thank you guys so much. And last but certainly not least, I want to say a personal thank you to all of my top tier Patreons. These are the War Masters, the people who have truly gone above and beyond the call of duty. So a heartfelt thank you to Alex Dengal, Bon Vert, Mad Larkin, Marcus Roberts, Mark Panconi, RJ Scorpion, Swordfish Trombone, Try Again Bragg, John Stubbs, Nick Wolf, Diesel Fox, and August Barney. Seriously guys, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Your support is incredible and it makes a huge difference. Thank you so much. That's all for now. Hope you've all enjoyed today's video, and of course, as always, see you guys next time.